Are you like me and have way more Pokemon cards than you know what to do with? Well, what if I could tell you that you could turn this mess of a pile into something cool and amazing? Like this! Pokemon Ornaments are the best and funnest way to use those extra cards just in time for the holiday season. So today, I'm going to teach you guys as easily as I can how to make these beautiful crafts for yourself. But before getting started, let's go through the things that we'll need. A cutting mat, a cutting knife, scissors, a pen, sewing needles, a ruler, colored thread, and 3 duplicate Pokemon cards. Today we're going to be using these adorable Alolan Vulpix cards because I feel like they are just perfect for winter. Once that's all set up, you're ready to go. So let's do this. Step 1. Take your first Pokemon card and lay it face down on the cutting mat. Put your ruler on the back. We're going to be measuring about ½ an inch or 1.27 centimeters. With your pen, please mark lines 1.27 centimeters or ½ an inch apart. Don't worry, this is not an exact science, but when you're finished, you'll notice that your card is now divided into 5 parts. I've already prepared my other cards in order to save time. And please make sure you're marking on the back. You don't want to ruin your beautiful ornament. Step 2. Take your ruler and flip it vertically, lining it up with the markings made in step 1. You're going to take your cutting knife and slide it down the edge of the ruler, cutting your Pokemon card into strips in the process. When you're done, it should look something like this. Again, not an exact science, but as long as it looks like this, I think you should be okay. Now that you've done that, let's work on the rest. Once you're finished, you should have 5 pieces like this. Lay them from the leftmost piece on top all the way to the rightmost piece on the bottom. You're going to want to lay all 3 of your cards like this separately and then stack them together, just like you see here. Step 3. Choose your thread. You're going to want to pull about a foot, but don't be afraid to pull more. It's safer that way and you can always cut it off later. Next, all you have to do is choose your needle, maybe not something too small, but also not anything too big, and thread it. Easy as that. Step 4. This is where things become a little bit more involved. Take your needle and thread it through the front of the Pokemon card. Please make sure you're doing this on the bottom as well, and leave a little bit of space. Pierce the needle through the card and slide the piece down. You're going to want to repeat this with all 15 pieces. And when you're finished, you should have something that looks like this. Kinda cool, right? Step 5. Take that thread and pull it all the way to the end, leaving just a little bit. We're gonna be using this to tie a knot. Voila! It should look something like this. And don't worry about that excess, we'll be cutting that off later. Now, the hard part. You have to make another knot on the back, and try to make it as close to the cards as possible. You don't want them to be sliding. Good luck. Making that close knot can be a little bit difficult, but if you got it, it should look something like this. Step 6. Take your deck of cards and take the bottommost piece. You're going to take your needle next and thread it through the back, similarly to how we did earlier. Please be careful of your fingers. Take the needle and pull the thread all the way through. You're going to want to repeat this process, working your way from right to left. Once you're done with all of that, you should have something that looks similar to this here. Kinda looks like a paper fan, doesn't it? As cool as it is though, this is not the end, so let's move on. Step 7. Starting with the leftmost strip, bend them all backwards as you see here. Each subsequent strip should lay over the one before it. As you're doing this, make sure to pull the thread taut in order to avoid it bunching up and getting in your way. Eventually, you should have something that looks like this. Now on to step 8. Tying the final knot at the top of the ornament. Again, This could be a little bit tricky, trying to get the knot as close to the paper as possible. But if you do it right, it should look a little bit like this. And now that the ornament is complete, it's time to move on to the final step, step 9. Let's take that excess thread and tie a loop on the end. How else are you going to hang this thing? And now for the final touches. Let's snip off that excess thread. And there you have it, my first ever DIY. What did you guys think? Did you follow along? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to thumbs it up and share it with your friends to share the nerdy holiday cheer. Happy holidays, guys. See you later.